like to welcome everyone out to February's Orem Business Alliance webinar. Today we're going to be hearing from Officer McKell Hadlock, and she is going to give us some tips for keeping our businesses safe. We were originally supposed to hear from Jared Weech, but he's had some things come up. So McKell has graciously offered to step in and help us out. She's got a lot of knowledge about how to help businesses and how to keep us safe as a police officer. So first off, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Nate Prescott. I'm the Economic Development Analyst here at the City of Orem. I also help run the Orem Business Alliance, along with Kathy Lewis, my boss, who's the Economic Development Division Manager here for Orem, and she also runs the Orem Business Alliance. So first off, I wanted to introduce, so the Orem Business Alliance, we are an organization where we're trying to bring all of Orem's businesses together to help us grow. We're trying to help meet your needs, put you in touch with resources. And one of those ways that we want to put you in touch with resources is by helping you to learn more about the Business Resource Center and the Small Business Development Center. And so Camille Pendleton here she runs the Small Business Development Center, and we've invited her here to talk a little bit about what they do and how they can help Orem businesses. So Camille, if you don't mind, we'd love to have you talk about how you can help us.
Thanks, Nate. Yeah, so the Small Business Development Center, we've been around in Utah for about 40 years, and there are 14 of us up and down the state. So we've got some history here. Our whole goal is to help business owners be successful, and we try to do that in any way we can. So we have free consultation because we partner with the SBA, the federal agency, and the state of Utah legislature gives us some funding. And then here in Orem, we're right off the campus of UVU in that Business Resource Center, which is a great place. But we have individual confidential consulting where, you as a business owner sit down with one of our consultants and say, you tell us, this is what I need, this is what I'm facing, where can I get help? And we try to be kind of the 411 on, oh, this grant is happening, these funds are available, or let's help you develop a marketing plan right here and now, right? We connect you with student projects. If the other thing that we've got going besides that one-to-one personalized tailored consultation is we've got monthly clinics and workshops where you can get questions answered about QuickBooks, about WordPress if you're doing your own website. And we've got some lawyers who volunteer, contract lawyers. One of them speaks Spanish, to sit down and confidentially, you have 15 minutes to talk to them about pretty much whatever you want. We also have an intellectual property lawyers that come and give that same, 15, 20 minute free consultation, and a tax guy who had a lot of people register last time he had the clinic. But it's a way we know that people who have those sorts of questions, it's just that resource that's available every month. You go to our website, which is www.uvu.edu/SBDC, like Small Business Development Center, or Snake Boy Dog Cat, if that's easier to remember. And then you can either sign up for a clinic right there, you can register to have a consultation. We're doing almost everything webinar now. So we really want to meet you and help you where you are in this crazy, crazy time. We're here as a no cost or super low cost resource to help the business owners connect with, state, national, local resources, and just help with business skills. Don't tell the business department at UVU. We're like the Cliff Notes version of a business degree. So whatever you need, we'll help you get it.
Thank you, Camille. Yeah, and I just want to reiterate, not only do they have an arsenal of resources to help businesses, but they definitely have their finger on the pulse of new programs. They're the ones that are working with businesses to help them fill out these applications, and they just have a lot of experience and expertise in helping businesses. So when we say that we want to put businesses in touch with resources, Camille and the Small Business Development Center are the resources that we're talking about. So they're a great asset to Orem and to all of our businesses. And so we wanted to get people more familiar with them. So thank you so much, Camille, for introducing yourself and the Small Business Development Center. Also, we just wanted to put a plug out for the Paycheck Protection Program. That opened a few weeks ago and it's still going. So if you think you might qualify, if you've previously qualified, they're doing a second draw, so you can qualify for a second round of the Paycheck Protection Program. And so talk with your funding institution, your bank, to get that started, because they're the ones who are processing the applications. But if you need help, I'm sure that the Small Business Development Center also will answer lots of questions and help you out with it.
Yeah, Nate, can I say one thing about that?
Yes, please.
There are people who did not get a triple P, first round. You can still get a first draw. As a matter of fact, you can get both draws if you can get it in by March 31st. So if you're like, oh, I wish I'd done it, go find a lender right now and get that paperwork in there, because you might be able to do both of those. So.
Wow, I didn't know that. So that is great. Thank you so much for adding that. So yeah, that's our plug. Please apply for it. It's helped a lot of businesses, and it can also help your business. So get in there and get some information about it and apply for it as soon as possible. Switching gears, we want to welcome our speaker today, Officer McKell Hadlock. She's going to be talking to us about tips and tricks tips for keeping our business safe and preventing crime here at your business in Orem. So give you a little bit of background about McKell. McKell grew up in Southwest Wyoming, and she moved to Utah for school. That's why I moved to Utah. So it's a good place to go to school. McKell has worked for the city, and she's been an officer for 4 years, and she recently started in October as working in the investigations department. McKell lives in Santa Quinn with her fiance and her 3 dogs. So we want to welcome McKell. Thank you so much for talking with us, and we'll turn the time over to you.
Yeah, of course. Share my screen. So kind of what we wanted to talk about today. We've had throughout 2020, even into 2021 now, we've had a ton of businesses get hit by burglaries, which is a concern. So we just kind of want to talk about that. This is my information and Detective Jared Weech's information. Kind of our new role, this is new to our investigations unit, is we function half the time investigating crimes and half the time doing community-oriented policing. So our kind of direction with that is we want to try to come up with some ways to prevent crime from happening, which is why we want to talk to you guys today, figuring that out and just kind of brainstorming. Like I said, this is new to us too, so we're trying to figure out what we're doing. So yeah, we're moving on with that. Like I said, we want to help businesses avoid being targeted for burgs and even thefts. Most efficient ways to prevent that. And if the crime does happen, how can we catch the people responsible? Right now with masks, it's hard because that's a normal thing and you can't see faces and it's really, really difficult. But we're trying to work through that and figure out some creative ways to identify people and so on and so forth. So just a little bit of statistics. In 2020, we had 41 business burglaries. 21 of those had video surveillance available. That's not neighboring business video, it's their own. They had video surveillance systems, everything. 8 had active alarm systems. That number is lower than I expected, and we would obviously like to have that higher because our response time can be 30 seconds to 5 minutes if we have an active alarm when a burglary is taking place. So that's something we really want to work towards, getting people to get alarm systems, just because it speeds up our time. If they're still actively burglarizing the business, we can get there a lot faster, and so on and so forth with that. So far, just this year, we've already had 10 business burglaries take place, and those are forced entries, not just walking in, whatever. The most common ones we have are smash and grabs, where we'll just break out a window, grab whatever, even in parking lots with customers. That happens a lot in the daytime, nighttime, whatever. The biggest one we've had lately is catalytic converter thefts. So if you have transport vehicles, any vehicles sitting there, catalytic converters can get taken off and they're very hard to track. So that's a big one we've had lately. We actually caught a couple people who were involved in a different city, and somehow they've stopped in our city. So vehicle burglaries are always a big one as well. I know a couple businesses also had vehicle thefts this year, where they had their fleet vehicles taken, whatever. But I think the biggest one we've had is just burglaries, breaking into businesses, which we don't like to see, but it's happening a lot. So what are some ways that we can reduce this? So like I talked about, purchasing camera systems. Again, it helps right now with masks. It's hard, but it helps. And alarm systems are always really good to speed up that response time. Something with that alarm system that we like to have, if somebody you trust and work with is close to your business, having them listed as the responsible party for your business, because then we can call them, they can get down there, open a door if we need, get into the business, make sure nothing was taken. Because sometimes we have alarms and there's just an unlocked door and we go in and we're like, well, we have no idea if anything's missing, broken into, so on and so forth. So it helps having somebody close who can respond and keeping that updated. Also keeping a record of serial numbers if you have any tools, laptops, tablets, so on and so forth. Having lists of serial numbers, because if you're able to get that to us, we can list it in a national database system called NCIC. And then if they try to pawn it, sell it, they get pulled over and they have the item in their car, we can run it and it'll show up as stolen. Another way to do that is, in the picture below, we were able to get some chainsaws back for the Forest Service this year. They had serial numbers and they actually marked the chainsaws. They carved into them. And so it was obviously identifiable when we went to get these from some people who listed them on Facebook Marketplace. So that was just a successful time, that having those serial numbers, being able to list that and then go and pick them up worked out for us. Something else that we found has helped is having a reinforced door. Detective Leach had a case where they attempted to break into the business, but because they had a reinforced door, they weren't able to successfully enter, which saved them in the end. Also keeping outer areas lit. That way, people driving by at night, people are still out on the road at 3 a.m. If that area is lit and they're trying to commit a crime, it tends to deter them from being in that area. Also hiding valuables. So if you have a DVR system for your cameras, keep it somewhere locked up, safe, because people who are smart criminals, they know to take those, and then our video footage is gone. Also safes. I would probably reduce the amount of employees who know where the safe is, just in case, come back, tell somebody, so on and so forth. We had a couple of those this year where they ended up taking the safes. Like I said, serial numbers, just keeping an accurate documentation of that helps. And if you can't locate a serial number, having some sort of marking linking it to your business, because that helps us too. If we pull somebody over and they're like, oh, I got this from my friend, but it says a specific business, we're going to question that and call the business to see if it was stolen. So another thing that helps us out is alarm permit numbers. This is from the Orem page. It's actually a city ordinance. If you have an alarm system, you're supposed to have an alarm permit number. This just kind of gives a rundown. If we do get false alarms, And that's another good reason to have an accurate, responsible party, because they can tell us, hey, this was a false alarm. No, you don't need to respond. Just having that updated information. Again, this is on the Orem city page, so it's accessible there. You can do it there. This is just kind of run through of it. And this is the application. You can do it online or you can mail it in. Either way, it works. So Detective Weech was able to talk to a few businesses. Total Protection, Dixon Security Cameras, Bilco Safe and Lock. He went and talked to them and they were like, yeah, we're down to give some discounts if people want to get their businesses protected and move forth with that. So those are some of those. If you need those numbers again, I can always get them to you. And then last, how can we help businesses as the police department? And specifically in our position that we're in right now, we want to reach out, see what we can do to help people prevent more burglaries. Like I said, we've already had 10, and that's that's a lot for 2 months out of the year. So that's all I have.
Awesome. Thank you so much, McKell. Do we have any questions? Nothing's popped up in the chat so far. If you'd rather type it in, you can type it in and I'll read it off, or you're welcome to unmute and ask your questions.
I have a question, McKell. Is it ever helpful for business owners to take pictures of their valuables?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You know, in addition to those serial numbers to help to identify
Oh yeah.
stolen property.
Yeah, because then if they come, say we stop somebody on a traffic stop, they have a bunch of tools in the back or whatever it is, a tablet, something. They have a picture of that and they bring it and say, oh yeah, look, here's a little scratch. Then we can identify it the same way. And it's just more successful. We're able to get people their items back. And that's what we want to end up doing. So.
And can you describe what a reinforced door is? I mean, in what way?
That's a good question. That would be a good one for Weech. I believe the one that they had on their business when they tried to break in, it was just like an extra metal piece. And then it had one of the push bars. It was like extra reinforced, something like that. So
just kind of slows down a burglar. And
yeah. They tried to pry it and I think they just gave up. So they couldn't get in and it worked. I mean, that was all the damage they had to pay for was that door. So.
And I had a question. Out of the different business burglaries and, you know, theft, did you have any statistics on how many were caught?
I don't.
That would be interesting to know, I think.
Yeah, I can look into that. Yeah, I'm not for sure. I know we had quite a few where we actually caught the people. It wasn't right in the moment, but later on we were able to identify them, whether it be through fingerprints, so on and so forth. We did have a couple where we caught them in the act, and those were actually ones where the alarm went off, which helped because they were able to get there instead of waiting till the next morning. Somebody comes in to open and we find out. So they were able to get some good arrests off of in the moment accurate happening at that time.
Can you talk to us about what you recommend as far as even the number of employees that have key access to buildings? Because I know sometimes that gets out of control with businesses. Somebody might borrow a key or just make, if the key isn't the type that you can't duplicate. What do you recommend as far as keeping control of business keys?
Oh, that's a hard one. Just because you want to keep your business protected, right? And handing those out free will is going to increase your chances of an employee deciding, hey, I'm going in, I know where everything is, I'm gonna do this and this and this. That could very well happen. I mean, even trying to get keys back, if somebody leaves, if somebody's let go, fired, so on and so forth, make sure that you're getting that key back. And if not, even considering changing the locks, because it's not worth risking it Just an example, not with a key, but we had a burglary the other day where a delivery truck driver pulled up, propped the door open. Don't know if it was an employee who knew what time delivery truck driver comes or somebody passing by, but somebody snuck in while delivery driver was getting his next load, went in, stole 2 tablets, and then delivery driver delivers, he waits for him to leave, and then he leaves. So, you got to be cautious always. There's always people, unfortunately, in Orem, even at 3 or 4 in the morning, there's always people out on the streets. And so we want to start doing as well, just some extra patrols is what we call them during the night. We'll go by businesses. We'll even go and check their doors, make sure they're locked. If they're not locked, we'll leave a hanger on your door saying, hey, your business wasn't locked, we locked it for you. Our plan to do that in the next couple months, just during the night, at least once a week, see if we can reduce it a little bit.
So in case that there's a business listening or that listens to the recording, can you back it up once on your PowerPoint slide to those 3 businesses that are offering a discount? Because
Yes.
they might think, it's time to rekey my locks or put new locks on my business. And that might be a really good opportunity for them at a discount to take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, it'd be perfect to leave that here for a few minutes while we talk a little bit more. Do we have some more questions from anyone? Give you a second to chime in.
And I think we will put this information maybe on this discount information on our City of Orem webpage, our Economic Development webpage, and our Orem Business Alliance webpage for those who might be on this video or who might be listening later to be able to take advantage of it. And McKell, was this discount available to business through the month of February?
I'm going to say yes. Weech is the one that talked to these businesses, so I can have him clarify that for you, but I would say so.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking too.
Yeah, when we send out more information, because we'll probably include this in one of our next business emails that we send out to everyone. So we can figure out what exactly the deals are and all that stuff, and we'll include that in our next message. But this is super awesome that we can give discounts to other Orem businesses. This is what we want with the Orem Business Alliance, that we're all working together, hopefully offering each other some discounts, and so that we can work together and be a better business community. So this is super
Feel
awesome.
I have a question, if I may.
Mine and Weech's information too. If anyone has questions, concerns, they can get a hold of us.
Awesome.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks. So who do I contact if I want to help provide some resources for businesses? We're Fishbowl and we're in Canyon Park, and what we do is inventory and asset management. And we have a product I think I can probably even get to local businesses for free that allows them to track all their inventory, store serial numbers, take pictures, all those things. I think we'd like to help, so I can probably put something together. Who do I contact to get that set up so I can share that?
Ian, I have your email. I will, as long as it's the email that you use to register for this, I'll reach out to you after this meeting and we'll put something together.
That's perfect. We're happy to help.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. That's really generous. We appreciate you doing that. That's going to help our business community, because it might be time consuming for some businesses. And if you have a simple format that they can use to itemize that, that'd be great.
Yep, they could just use their cell phones and we'll handle the rest.
Oh, that's great. I have a question, McKell. How
Yeah.
often do you recommend that businesses kind of review their anti-theft prevention procedures with their own business to make sure that it's all up to date?
I mean, that's going to depend if you have a lot of changes within the business. Systems, as far as like security cameras, sometimes systems need update. I would say monthly would be a good goal. Just keeping track of it, just knowing where it's at. It doesn't have to be a big thing, but just knowing, yes, it works, because we've had burglaries where they're like, yeah, we have a camera system, and they go in and they don't even work.
And I bet especially if there's a high turnover in employee.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That it's important to review that with new staff as they come in and maybe even update some of the policy.
Yeah.
I've got a question as well. Something that you brought up that I hadn't really considered is the masks. I'm sure like 2 years ago, if people showed up to your business with masks on, they'd be like 2 digits into 911, you know? So how, do you have any tips or recommendations for, obviously we have to like reevaluate our perceptions, you know? So is there any tips on like anything to look for as patrons come into businesses and now everyone's wearing masks and they have, you know, they can be anonymous, they can get away with a lot more, they think they can get away with a lot more. Do you have any tips for us in that aspect?
Oh, it's such a hard time, but you know, people sometimes
I know this is a new
they get a hunch something's going on, people are acting nervous. A lot of people will look around, you know, before they do something. But I think the biggest thing that's been saving us is getting vehicle descriptions, license plates, stuff like that. If you can get us a license plate, we can look at the owner, local involvements with that vehicle, and that's been our best lead when it comes to catching people right now because of masks. So
great, that's a good idea. Also, we had Darren asked about Camille Pendleton and which office she was in for more information about the Paycheck Protection Program. So I put that information in the chat. You can reach her at uvu.edu/SBDC. You can get in touch with them there. So that's another thing just for everyone, in case you weren't watching the chat. Do we have any more questions? Anything else popping into people's minds?
So maybe McKell, you can give us a quick little summary or a challenge for our business owners.
yeah, just be aware. Like I said, getting those protections in place is going to help a lot. Having 40 burglaries and only 8 alarms is concerning, because that means the rest of those were delayed when somebody came in over the weekend on Monday, so they could have sat there over the weekend, or you know, the next day. We just have a lot quicker response time with alarm systems. They kind of save us most of the time. That's how we get successful arrests, is just getting there as fast as we can. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Just really quickly, I see that we have Peter J on. Peter, did you want to take a minute and just let everyone know who you are and what you do?
So I'm the Director of Economic Development and the Business Resource Center at Utah Valley University. We provide basically free government-funded business consulting with our Small Business Development Center and other organizations to small and medium-sized businesses in Utah. And we're kind of the community outreach portion of the university. We work with all the businesses and chambers of commerce, entrepreneurs, and things like that. So
they've also got incubator space for small businesses to start out, right? And some other resources like that as well.
Yeah. And we have a number of government organizations in the building. We can help businesses with government contracting, state, local, school districts, military contracts. We can help them with anything with their business, marketing, sales, finances for free. They're applying for PPP money or other grant programs. We can help them with the applications. It's all free, government funded. We have courses that they can take. So yeah, we have a lot of services here to help local businesses. I'm sorry I was late. I was actually on an economic development call with the county, so.
No worries. Thank you, Peter.
All right. Do we have any more questions for anyone that's here on this call? There's a lot of experience that could possibly help any businesses. We'll give you guys another minute. We also wanted to give out we have gift cards, and we wanted to give out a gift card to True Religion today. And so we've picked someone at random, and Inez Allridge, you are our lucky winner for this webinar. We will get in touch with you after this meeting and talk with you about getting that gift card to you.
And just so everyone knows, Nate, do you want to explain what True Religion is?
Yeah, True Religion is a restaurant here in Orem. They serve like really high quality like breakfast, and steak is their
Specialty.
forte, their specialty. Yeah. And they're delicious. They're super awesome. They're right here in Orem on State Street at what's that building
Midtown
called?
360. They're in the bottom of Midtown 360, the towers of apartments,
Yep.
condominiums.
Yep. They are super awesome. And we want to help spread the word about different Orem businesses. So we're offering out some gift cards, and we're trying to make this more exciting and more things to do, and get more of Orem businesses interconnected. So that's the way that we're doing it. So if we have any more questions, we can wrap up. We'll give you guys a sec if anyone wants to speak out or forever hold their peace. All right. Well, we just want to thank everyone who came out. We want to thank Officer Hadlock for her time and for giving us some tips and putting together this discount list. We will get this out to the rest of the Orem businesses this week. And thank you everyone for showing up. We appreciate it, and hope you all have a great day.